Tino, you went through a day similar to this a couple months ago. What do you think this is going to be like for Derek today?
Well, the thing is with Derek, I'm sure it's going to be this is a historic day, obviously in Yankee history. But in his mind, I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. But in the back of his mind, he's thinking about the game. I know he's going to appreciate the applause and everything that comes his way today. But I know when he's out there, he's already thinking about, his first at bat. He's got a game to play, and they're still in the hunt for the wild card. So I'm not sure how much he'll enjoy it until the day's over.
Tyler.
Gerald, I know you and Derek have been very close friends over the years. What was sort of the connection that you guys made, and how have you been able to maintain that friendship over the years? How special is that relationship to you?
It's extremely special. I think it's about the level of dedication, the effort that you give on a day-to-day basis. A lot of times you find that you have common strands of, I would have to say, it's a little difficult to explain in probably maybe a sentence or two, but just giving maximum effort in everything that you do, and doing it with a certain amount of appreciation in terms of pride.
Who else? Natalie, up here.
Tino, Joe Torre mentioned a moment ago when you came in after Mattingly left, and that experience of replacing somebody of that magnitude. What do you think it's going to be like for whoever ends up being the starting shortstop here after Derek?
It's going to be obviously big shoes to fill, in this case. But I don't think I've answered this question before, where I don't think people are going to expect another Derek Jeter. They're not going to expect a five-time world champion and a 3,000 hit guy and all that kind of stuff that he's brought to this team over the last 20 years. That's impossible. I mean, it really is. But it's going to be somebody who comes in here and plays hard every day. They have to be themselves. They have to know their own abilities and not try to be Derek Jeter. And if they do that and just hustle and play hard and play to win every day, that person will be and fine. They'll get along real well with him here in New York.
Who else? Tara.
Gerald, so much of what we see from Derek, is contained and very controlled in terms of in the clubhouse. Is there anything you can share as a friend of just sides of his personality that maybe we don't see or don't know?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to say that. Indeed. Derek is pretty much, he takes a serious approach in everything that he does, and he enjoys it immensely, so I think you have a pretty good idea of who he is based on what you see.
One or two more, Mark, Barry, Derek. There you go.
Both of you guys played with Derek when he was first coming up as a young player. Could you see back then that he was going to become the type of player he became, and that this is a guy who was going to mean what he means to Yankees history?
I saw Gerald because Gerald may have seen him in AAA, I think. Did you? So,
well, what I noticed that actually jumped out, I mean, it was easy to see, and I'm sure Tino can agree with this, is that he never wanted to take a play off. Like, whatever it was, he wanted to make sure he gave it his best, every time. And he always felt like he could do more, and he wasn't really satisfied with a lot of things, and he always just felt like he could do more. And I think that's pretty good for people to actually witness, and I think I've been fortunate to witness that.
Yeah, and in my case, my first year here in New York was Derek's first year, and I had already had 4 or 5 years in the big leagues. And when he got to the Yankees, I mean, of all teams, the New York Yankees, all the attention in the media and the expectations, the way he handled it from day one, opening day, hitting a home run, just all the success he had in '96. You would never expect that out of a 20, 21-year-old rookie, especially playing in New York with all the attention and the fame he got right away. But he handled it so well from day one. And like the question you asked earlier, the way he is, he's always been that way. He's not guarded and reserved. He's just a professional at the ballpark and knows how to go about his business, and it's always been that way from '96 on. And I don't know if I could have, at 20 years old, or Gerald or anybody else could have handled that situation that he came in with all the success he had for all these years, the way he's done it. It's been amazing, but it's always been that way from the beginning. His maturity as a rookie was like a 5-year veteran. You know, he was a leader at that time without saying anything, just coming to the ballpark and, like Gerald said, giving 100%, showing up to play every day and not making excuses.
Take one more, Barry. Right up front.
It just seems to me that, like, when Mantle retired, that was the end of an era. After everybody left, he was the last of that group, and you guys have all gone, and Derek is the last of the group. Can you put this all into perspective in the sense of Yankee history?
I would have to say, and the same as DiMaggio, Mantle, and all those guys. When those guys finished their careers and their legacies they had, a whole new chapter began. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I mean, he is the last. He's just the face of the Yankees to begin with, the face of Major League Baseball. And when he's done this year, it's a whole new beginning for the New York Yankees as far as new leadership, new attitude. They have to just continue doing what Derek and the teams we've had started and finished. So hopefully Derek has been such a great role model and a leader to a lot of guys in that clubhouse this year as well, that they'll just carry forth what he's brought to this team for 20 years.